What's the key message that you are trying to give out?
We've been living in this town for 3,800 years. That's a lot. 3,800 years of living in the same place, okay? And we are, if I would use non-Jewish terms, I would call us the Knights of the Machpelah, okay? We are the protectors of this building here. This building is the tombs of our fathers and mothers for 3,800 years ago. Abraham, you heard of Abraham?
Of course.
You're conservative, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, where do our values come from? They start with Abraham. And he recognized God, he sought out God, and then God sought him out back. Okay, it was a love affair.
Yes.
And this place is about a love affair. It's actually about Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebekah, Jacob and Leah. There's great romance here. There's great love here. This love started a family which gave birth to a nation, the nation of Israel. Now today, we are fighting to live in this place because there are forces that want to say that we don't belong here, that we're foreigners here, that we're occupiers here. Now this behind us right now is a 2,000-year-old building on top of tombs that are 3,800 years old. I'm the epitome of an indigenous person. I'm nothing of an occupier. I'm a Hebrew from this land.
And how many of you are there? How many Jewish people are there here in Hebron?
Okay, so we have about a block of 10,000. We have about 1,000 Jews living in Hebron. We have a sister city called Kiryat Arba right next door, which has about 9,000. And there's about 200,000 Arabs. Okay, we're outnumbered here today. At different parts of history, we were the majority. Today we are the minority.
So if we look at it in the sort of 2 blocks just in Hebron, we have 800 Jews and about 200,000 Arabs, that would be correct. And then you have a battalion almost, don't you, of IDF to protect and defend you.
Right. Well, this battalion wouldn't be here if it wasn't a value for the whole state of Israel. The state of Israel provides this battalion, and they don't do it for us. We're not paying them. The reason the state of Israel does that is because this is a strategic spot for us historically and in terms of our narrative. We have about 700,000 visitors a year here. Why? Because the Jewish people all over the world and folks who believe in the biblical story come here to connect. So we are really, we keep this place open. We are like the jaws of life. We keep the place open. If we wouldn't be here, and the army wouldn't be here, this place would close right up and nobody would have access. That's what happened at the tomb of Joseph.
And I wanted to ask, just because I'm a mom, I have 3 kids, I go, when I'm home, I do the school run, I come back, maybe I go to the supermarket, come back, potter about. In an average life, a daily life of a normal mum here, normal Jewish mum, trying to live her life in Hebron, what does it mean for her to be a minority? What does it mean for her to be living in this bit? What does it mean in terms of her life? How does it impact?
Well, first thing is that you're right, it's not so normal, it's not as normal, it's a militarized zone on the one hand. On the other hand, we try very hard to keep it as normal as possible. We provide secure vans for kids to go to school close by. But the kids grow up with something that a lot of times we miss in the Western world, which is courage, meaning, satisfaction that they're doing something important, living a life of historical meaning. So these kids grow up very strong. Okay, they grow up tough, and they grow up believing in something. They don't just grow up, playing PlayStation and minding their iPhone. They're beyond that a little bit, and so they have something to aspire for, to yearn for. And they have strength.
I was just listening to some of the boys. So these are lads. There's some lads down there on the steps, quite muscular lads, looking fairly tough already. They're going to be future members of the IDF, right, or hoping to be. I'm hearing North London accents. I heard Hackney. Why? I don't get it.
Okay, so Jews from all over the world are hearing the call that we are in the process of rebuilding our state and nation, our commonwealth. We're in the process of rebuilding our 3rd commonwealth. That's cool. And so young people who are in college looking to rebel, looking to do something.
Looking to belong.
Looking to belong.
Looking to be honest about how they feel.
And
looking to have a point of view. Being sick of being suffocated by not being allowed to have a point of view.
That's right.
They're coming here.
That's right, and they're going to fill their life with meaning. They're going to build a country. They're going to defend a country. They're going to be back to those values.
What's your age limit on taking elderly, sort of 43-year-old ladies into your IDF? Is there a little opening for a little gobby bird?
I've got people volunteering for the IDF that are 70 and 80. We have programs like that. It's called Sar'el. We got all kinds of folks coming in. But more than anything, I think that there's people all over the world, like you here today, that are part of this great story. It's not just defending Israel. It's part of a great story of the ingathering of the exiles, of rebuilding the state, pushing back on the jihad. Fighting back.
Yes.
Beautiful values, really a throwback. And so a lot of people all over the world are actually part of it. Now, if you listen and watch and read the media, you'll think like the whole world's against us, but it's not true.
It's so not. And if I know you're a very busy man, I know you've got a million things to do. If you had a message, I'm thinking about our American followers. We have a lot of Americans that follow us because they're so supportive of Trump and Israel. What's your message to Americans in terms of the fight for our Judeo-Christian culture? What's your kind of rallying cry to them?
Right now, we're in a narrative war. Okay? The other side, for example, in Israel, they tried to defeat us physically, militarily. They tried to just destroy us again, like in the World War II, like in the Holocaust. But they haven't been able to, because we're back to being tough, and we've been successful at that.
Traveling around Israel, one of the things I've really noticed is all Israelis have really good teeth, which is making it pretty hard for me to even open my mouth. But to hear more of our stories, join us at rebelisrael.com.